Hi, Kaspars.
Hi,
How are you?
good, thank you.
Excellent. So please introduce yourself to our viewers.
I was a business consultant, but now I'm managing 4 companies in Gamma Holding, Riga, Latvia.
Wow, that's great. Excellent. And how's your holding doing after Corona crisis, Ukrainian war? How's it doing right now?
It don't affect us because we work based on management basics, and we see our statistics and manage it in a proper way. And this Corona situation don't affect us, and our results still grow.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's good. Were you always managing 4 companies?
Not always. Last 3 years.
Okay. What did you do before?
Before I was in my heart, I still business consultant. Yeah, I like it, and that's why that's the part in the business how to manage. It's my reason.
So, what helped you to advance from business consultant to be able to manage 4 companies at once?
Yeah, I should say a big thank you to LifePower Biz, because it's impossible to manage companies without personal skills, without leadership. Because if we see company is like a watch with some parts, and they work together, but your leadership is a source of power in company. And without leadership and without good communication, it's impossible.
Excellent, good. So how were your communication skills before you did leadership communication skills course?
I was shy. I went out from difficult situations. I don't resolve these situations, just let it be. And that's not good results, because the problems become bigger and bigger, and one time you understand that you can't resolve it, and the result goes down. And then I start to find a solution where I can improve my leadership and communication skills.
Oh, good, excellent. So how did the course help you?
I become more calm. My confront level is high enough to resolve a routine job in my companies.
Good. Okay, can you specify?
For example, I can easily resolve good situations and bad situations. I don't care about it's bad or good, because I confront each of one. For example, some employees not satisfied with salary or something like that, and I can, in calm way to resolve. Okay, sit down and we can talk about, and I explain you and this and that. And before it's impossible. Before I start to speak louder and louder and louder, or at one time shut up and go away, and I don't want to talk with you.
I understand.
That was before.
I got it. Okay. So, any other example how this course help you to manage people or manage companies?
Yeah, I have a lot of examples, like every day, because in a company, people, some people don't like each other, and they don't like to cooperate or work together, and it becomes like a bad result. And I go to this situation and I can fix it, because I can manage that both parts can work together. And I explain this what communication is and why it's important, and something like this in this way.
Oh, so you can solve conflicts.
Yeah, of
that's
course.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. How does this course help you to handle challenging clients?
For challenging clients, it's most, if we talk about sales, that's the most important part. Is at the end, it's a hard questions, because when you pay, which way you pay, and this, and a lot of, because I saw statistics from United States, where I think the top country for sales, and 56%, just 56% ask hard questions at the end. And in Latvia, I think maybe 10% ask hard questions. Are you ready to pay or not? And for me, it's I can easily ask hard questions. When you pay and where you pay and which way, and that's really helps, and I can increase my results.
Wow, wonderful. And how does this course help you in handling challenging employees?
Employees too, because I can speak with them before I can confront this situation, and I can see directly what the real situation is. Without this, able to confront, it's hard. It's hard, and it takes a lot power from you to handle these situations. If your confronting level it's good enough, it's easy, and you don't feel tired at the end of the work. Inside of us, first of all, we are the people, and then I were CEO or salesman or something like that. It's like not the first thing. That's the second thing. What kind of stuff you are?
Wow, very nice viewpoint. Very nice. You mentioned sales. Can you tell me a bit more how the course can help in sales?
In sales, because first of all, you should confront the people in front of you, because maybe the lady is very nice and you're a little bit shy, and I can't ask some important questions because I'm shy. And it helps when we start to sell, we can confront, and we can easily see it's people afraid of something or not, and what they think, because you can easily look to your partner face. And at the end, when after presentation we start to ask hard questions, and where is my money? And then it really helps.
Good. Let's see now each drill separately, okay? Let's say we start being here, here and now. How does this help you?
I think it's a secret, and everyone should or must come and try. I think so, because it's very interesting, and it changes you a lot, your abilities to confront, your communication, because at the end you start to increase your confronting level, and then you understand what communication is, because communication have a real formula. It's hard to communicate if you miss some parts, and in this course you totally understand what communication formula is and how it works. And after that it's drills and drills and drills and drills, and you can communicate in an easy way. It's like inside from you, and nobody take from you it anymore.
Wow, wonderful, good. One of the things that we drill in the course is relaying your message. How does this help managing companies?
It's help that you can see and look at people in people's face. It's easy. It's not like I'm shy or I feel uncomfortable. I can send a message and totally be sure that people duplicate it. The people understand what I say, not just blah blah blah, but I say, you understand me? Yeah, okay, repeat it, and then I totally understand that people understand me.
Okay, excellent. Acknowledgement, it's very important too, because then with acknowledgement we finish the cycles. And because I think you see some people who always blah 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 blah, always talking, because nobody gives them acknowledgement. And the people, if I don't take acknowledgement, I am not sure that people hear me, and I repeat, and if I get acknowledgement, okay, I can finish cycle, and that's it. And both conversation parts, it's a calm and feel good. Good. Getting your question answers.
Getting your question answered, it's important part again when you work with employees. Because some employees, okay, I understand, or don't give you correct information. And with these drills, you can get information what you want. and so many times
what you want to.
Good. Handling originations.
It's an interesting part because if we don't understand the difference between comments and originations, it can makes your relationships a little bit worse or better. And if you know originations and act on it, and it makes your relationship more close.
Now tell me, how did you become able to manage 4 companies in 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So it took you 4 years to manage
Yeah.
4 companies. How did you do it?
Because if we see the specialists work with some tools of kind of machines or tools or pencil or computer or something like that. Executive tool is communication, because executives work with people, not with tools, not with machines or something like that. The executive work with people emotions, with people, with all kind of stuff what's come from people. And the communication is a basic skill what each employee should to improve, because your tool is communication, and if you not satisfied with your communication, it's hard to take good results.
Wow, great, excellent. So why are you saying that communication help you to manage 4 companies at the same time?
Yeah. And I still use this communication drills, still do this communication skills and improve, because if you work with people emotions, your communication skills maybe a little bit go down, and then you improve again, but you know how to do it, because you have knowledge.
Nice, very nice, well done. Good. Anything else you would like to mention?
Yeah, well, as I say, I think the communication skill is the most important. It's a basic, because without communication skill, your executive work is like a hell.
Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.